Okay, this information you already had it this morning, but I would synthesize very quickly. This is an European project, Fertinova, with 23 members. The three main axes, or the three main questions in this project is water resource management, water and nutrient, don't forget that the nutrients are together with the water, use efficiency, and effluent management and minimization of environmental impacts. In this project, we follow a bottom-up approach, meaning that the base of our pyramid or the base of our work are the growers, situation and the growers' needs. They are the ones having a problem to effectively, having a need for effectively managing water and nutrients. The second step in this project was to map, as Rodney explained this morning, to map a map with all the technologies and summarize all these technologies in a very practical and technical document, which is the Fertigation Bible. And the last step is, what has been, to select those promising technologies that would solve a specific problems to specific crops, and they have been selected and showcased in different growers' farms. This implementation of these techniques have been evaluated or are being evaluated and compared to local practices. This is the top of the pyramid is where we are right now. So the first step in this project was to determine the producer practices and needs. We have already mentioned this morning about the benchmark survey. It was done in 371 farms all over Europe and South Africa. I highly recommend you to read this benchmark report. It's very easy to read, and it has very interesting conclusions. One of the very interesting conclusions, at least to me, is that we have similar problems to what they have probably in Belgium. Okay, so that's kind of strange to find, and it was kind of surprising. The types of crops, it was surveyed 530, about 500 cropping systems in different, in all climate zones in Europe, Mediterranean, Central East, and Northwest. Both on soil and soilless crops, and both also cover and outdoor fields. The results from the survey, I'm thinking of these three main axes about water sources. The biggest problem by the growers was shortage. If you see in the graph on the left, I don't know if I know how to use this. If you see this graph on the left, this is the main problem reported by growers, even if they had rainwater as a main source of water, groundwater, surface water, or from the irrigation community. Also, another important problem, when they had to store, when they could store that water, the main problem was either algae or insufficient storage capacity. Related to the type of irrigation systems, thinking of the water use efficiency of the irrigation systems used, I would like the two top graphs are for soil crops. The bottom on the left is for cover crops, and the top on the right is outdoor crops, and the bottom ones are soilless crops. If you see, just looking at the colors, the two green ones are the most frequent ones in most of them. These are drip irrigation, either by drip tape or drip emitters. Also, here in the soilless outdoor was a sprinkler. What does that mean? That at least the irrigation system is a highly, or theoretically a highly efficient irrigation system. So if we are facing problems of water pollution or water shortage, it's not the irrigation system that is not innovative, but maybe the methodology used or the technique used to program that irrigation for the crop. What would be the main interest in setting up innovative techniques? Well, we have resumed in 4. First, to improve the automation of systems. These are the responses by the growers. For example, to have sensors that would trigger or adjust irrigation, that would provide automatic fertilization or automatic irrigation. That would improve control. Also to improve the quantitative and or the qualitative management of water, for example, by collecting rainwater, storing water, find solutions against algae, etc. Also, another demand was to control effluent by, for example, recycling drainage, minimize rejected portion, etc. And also by solving the technical problems associated with the management of the irrigation system, for example, by improving the filtration system. What were the growers' concerns? And this, we saw some of it also this morning. The highest one is the investment. Once you mention the word innovative technology, then you don't think something cheap. You automatically think in something very expensive, okay? The other concerns among growers would be if it is the technology truly reliable, is it profitable for my crop or my growing conditions? Maybe the problem is not available there, so it could be also a technical constraint. Other reasons about being concerned for adoption of new technologies would be that they feel that they don't know about the technology. How are they going to use it? Would they have technical support? Would they have someone to train them on how to use it? Also, in the other way, maybe it's not in their priorities. So it was also mentioned they are happy what they have, so they are not concerned about changing and implementing a new technology. If they were asked how to improve the adoption of sustainable practices, growers would value, in first place, the reduction of production cost and improved crop quality. This is top number 1. Of course, reduction of labor costs, increase of yields, not having legal constraints or licenses to use these new technologies or new techniques, improving their financial return by using these technologies, and protecting and improving the production. Well, this is the theory. This is what they say that would improve the reception of using this technology. But how we really improve, or how do we get the technology into the field? This is the main focus in this part of the work. So what are the growers' priorities? This is based on the survey that is mentioned in the benchmark report. First one, financial support. And this is number 1, and it's the opposite to number 8, which is the last one. They much better prefer to have some kind of flexibility, administrative simplification, and also subsidies or any kind of incentives instead of restrictions or fines, things like that. Also, they like that they prefer that they are cost effective, that they are available and they are efficient, and they are easy of use. If they are complicated to use, if this thing is going to take too much time to use it, is probably going to fail. Also, one question mentioned was the lifespan of the technology. For example, when you ask them to use sensors for monitoring soil, to take soil suction samples. For example, if they feel that the lifespan is only one campaign, then they have to do it again over and over every year. They wouldn't like that. and also that there are no legal constraints. That was the first step, to know the preferences and the situation of the growers. The second was to map all possible technologies that Ronnie already mentioned this morning, and they were compiled and united into a technical document that is the Fertigation Bible, and it is available in our website. One of the things that growers mention is that they really like, or they really learn by exchanging and by showcasing the technology. They want to see what their neighbors do. So this is why we are having this showcasing in this work package. So we are, after selecting the best technologies adapted to each specific problem, we are showcasing them on the farm, making groups and showing how the technologies work. So we are showcasing them in different points across Europe. Oh, sorry, one more. Right now, we are showcasing more than 20 technologies across all over Europe. And for example, here, in Almería, the consortium members here have a great experience in using capacitance probes. So they are exchanging that knowledge, and that knowledge is being used in France, for example, here. There is also some companies that participate in the consortium. So they have a prototype. One of the consortium members in Germany, they have developed a prototype to recover phosphorus from the effluent, and this prototype is being tested in Belgium. So there has been an exchange of knowledge and transfer. We are selecting, keep in mind that we have selected not only technologies that come from the agricultural sector. Other technologies coming from other sectors are also being implemented, and they are being showcased. For example, some technologies coming from the clinical sector, some other technologies coming from the agriculture, for the food sector. If you want to see what technologies are being right now being showcased at different farms across Europe, we have posted all of them in our webpage. This is a technology exchange map. If you see, they have different classification of colors. Each color represents a different problem. And you can click in there. Once you click in there, it will display a technology card, giving some basic information about where the farm is located, what the technology is, and some brief explanation on how the technology is working at that site for that specific crop and climate. So right now, in the project, all technologies, exchange technologies, are in the evaluation process. And in this evaluation, we are comparing how these technologies are working compared to local practices. We are identifying also, when we are comparing to local practices, and we are identifying if there are still some remaining gaps. You will have also in the technology cards, when you click on the map, you will have also soon available this expanded information with the results in each specific site and each specific technology. So this is what we are doing right now for Work Package 5. I continue being here. I have a couple more slides before each of these technologies will be explained in more detail by Evangelina and Juanjo Magán when I finish my presentation. But before that, I would like to tell you some specific things of our technologies market that you know that's outside this room. This is the list of all the exhibitors. We have classified the information. Don't worry, all this information, you have it outside next to the exhibitors market, and you can also visualize all this information in a TV screen. Okay, so these are all the companies participating in our exhibitors market. And this, here in this table, that you will have it also outside, you will see that there are 4 different sessions with different time schedule. This is the time where these companies will be explaining to the audience what they do, what their products are. So just to let you know that they will be giving this demonstration of the technologies at these times. You also have this table outside, and it will be displayed on the monitor, okay? As you know, some of you know, we in Fertinova, this is the 3rd workshop that we are organizing. In all of them, we have celebrated an innovation award. So this is our last innovation award for 2018. And I kindly ask you to vote. After visiting all technologies today and tomorrow, and I think we finish tomorrow at 6:20, to please vote which one of the ones exhibited outside was the most innovative for you, okay? It will just come here to this internet place, enter this password, and then it's a very simple app. You will see the list with all the companies. Just click in the one that you think is the most innovative and click in the vote. And we will thank you very, very much for that, okay? So I'm going to give to Evangelina. He's going to be the next one.